Following on from workshops and seminars, we're now looking at field trips and exposure visits. Now, perhaps it's a way of saying we've got to take our shirt off and turn it inside out. Because what we have when we have a seminar is people coming in. We have to make the preparations for them. All of the decisions need to be made about whether the tables should be arranged in this way or in that way. We have to have materials on the tables for them, and we have to have our speakers or presenters arranged. And basically, we turn this all around backwards when we think of a program that is about taking people out to the field, not bringing them in to learn something, and taking them out maybe to other countries or to other organizations, and getting them out of what would normally be considered a training setting and into a workplace type situation. But it's off the job in the sense of not being their own workplace, but it's more on the job by going to visit other workplaces and trading experiences and impressions with other people in the workplace. So we're not drawing people into an institute or a formal learning environment. We're actually taking them out into the working world, out into the field, out to see agricultural projects, out to see clinics in the health system, out to see problems that people have with their credit programs, and talking to the businesses that are being set up and encouraged and incubated in terms of micro-enterprise development. But there are many of the same things that you have to think about. You have to think about the travel arrangements, for example, just as you would for a seminar, except it's not incoming people, it's outgoing people. And you have to think about the facilitation, because it's very important in an exposure visit to set aside time every afternoon or evening to process the things that have been seen and talked about during the day. In this case, you're not going to have presenters, but you may have to have honorarium lined up so that every time you visit a farm, or you visit a factory, or you visit a clinic, that you are able to leave them a thank you and say, we appreciated learning from you. And then you get back to the processing, and the learning can take place. But it's real exposure, it's real experience that's happening during one of these field trips. Now, a field trip can be either a whole week or 2-week program, just like a seminar. It's possible to arrange a day-by-day program, all of the appointments, who's going where, knowing how many kilometers you'll be traveling each day on your bus, and so on and so forth, just like a tour. Or it can also be that a field trip is simply one day, let's say within a 1-week seminar. And you decide on that day, maybe you've been Monday and Tuesday in the seminar environment, and then you get a bus and you take people out to the workplace environment, perhaps even in different vehicles, going to different destinations. They will come back for a debriefing at the end of the day, and then you go back into the mode of learning as seminars. So we can either see these skills as being something that becomes one of the different techniques in our bundle that we use as trainers, not always sticking to one, but using a variety of different means. And it's wonderful to have a field trip in the middle of a seminar. Or we can even do it the other way, and we can say, no, let's take the whole week and just go out on field visits and exposure visits, but then for an hour every day, let's come back into the formal workshop setting and talk about what we've been learning, and maybe record on a flip chart, you know, the different learning points that we've made during the day, so that we can actually record and say we've got learning that's gone on, and be assessed, and assess also whether the trainer has prepared a good program as an exposure visit. These can go to other countries, these can go through languages and translation. A lot can be learned from others to avoid reinventing the wheel.